going, everybody? It's your boy Master. I told you I'd be making these training videos of DOA so you can learn the game from scratch all the way to the top. With that being said, let's start off with the basic button inputs. In DOA, you're given 3 basic button inputs, which is your punch, kick, and free button. Your free button is also known as guard, so if you push it, you'll notice your character will begin to guard. Now with those 3 inputs, plus assistance from your directional pad or joystick, you get a good amount of attacks and commands, like 4 plus punch or up plus kick. Now the reason I say plus is so that everyone understands that you have to push those 2 buttons together. Now as you mess around with your commands, you'll notice you can attack your opponent in different areas. That's because there's different hit levels in DOA. There's high, mid, and low attacks. This will make you feel less restricted on using the same type of attacks or hit levels. Moving along to the next thing. As you already know, this is in DOA in the arcades, where you only provided the punch, kick, and free button. However, since we're playing on the Xbox 360, we're provided with more buttons than we actually need. So if you push a button that's not one of your basic button inputs, you'll get a different command. That only means that that particular button is set to do 2 different things at the same time. Now this is known as DOA's in-game macros. These extra buttons or macro buttons make it easier for you to do special commands, like special punch attacks, special kick attacks, or even throws. To do a special punch attack, you usually have to push punch plus kick. To do a special kick attack, you usually have to push free plus kick. To do a throw, you have to push free plus punch. But with macros, it makes all these commands a lot easier to do without pushing so many buttons at the same time, especially in those tight situations. Next on today's lesson is reading directional inputs. Now in most fighting games, you're usually considered to be player 1 and to be starting on the left side of the screen. So if someone says forward, that usually means right, and if someone says back, that usually means left. However, in DOA, there's 2 different ways players read directional inputs. Let me show you right quick. Now if I said to push forward, you would read it like this, with the right arrow. The other way to read it though is like this. The right arrow represents the 6, kind of like your number pad on your keyboard. With that being said, all the arrows and numbers will look like this. Now the middle is usually considered neutral, but nobody really uses that term hardly ever in the community, so it's not used very often. Now if I told you to push up back, that would mean 7. Just like that. If I told you to push back, that would mean 4. And that's how it works. Now moving on to the last thing on today's lesson, and that is holding commands and holding levels. In DOA, there is a move or command called a hold, also known as a counter. However, the correct term to use is hold, not counter. This brings us back to our free button. If you do up, back, and free, this will hold or counter high attacks. If you do back and free, this will hold mid punch attacks. If you do forward and free, this will hold all mid kick attacks. And of course, if you do down, back, and free, this will hold all low attacks. With that being said, this should already tell you that not one hold covers all hit levels. So try to look for your opponent's attack before you attempt to hold them. Holding is very important in DOA, since this will help you stop your opponents from using abusable moves and techniques. It will make your victory a lot easier if they become too predictable on their attacks. So it's very important you learn every hold and how to read your opponent so you know when to execute them. Well everyone, that's pretty much it for Master's first lesson on DOA. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to hit me up on the Dallas Venom website or on my MySpace. If I see frequently asked questions about DOA that I know the answer to, I'll bring a few of them up on the next lesson. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helps you understand the game a little better or maybe bring up your skill. As for me, I'm out. Catch you all next time. Super Easy drops exist. What you know about them?
See ya!